Hello. Um, Hi. Tay,
Hey, how's it going?
Tay told me that I have to do the talking today, and I'm really uncomfortable. So,
Oh my god,
hello,
okay, hi,
everybody.
hello.
Thank you so much for coming to this cast exposition show. We are so happy to have you. Remember to
You're doing
hydrate.
so good. Hi, welcome back. It's a day of the week. It's a weekday. It's actually, I think it's Thursday.
Why are we
It's
even fucking
Thursday
here?
night.
We are here because the stream busted on Sunday
Oh
because
man, did it
my
ever.
internet sucks ass and
Murica.
America. I just did drink. Fuck! Don't. I'm trying to talk.
I don't even have a drink, so you know what, babe? This to suck. I will drink extra for you on Sunday.
So, um, yeah. So if everybody who is in the chat, thank you for being here, by the way. If everybody who is watching could please,
Yeah.
this is all a test. This is canon, but this is all a test. Um, and an excuse for me to not take up time during actual play doing Mei-Lin runs off by herself shit.
It's like
So
not that Mei-Lin runs off by herself. She's just a very ambitious girl.
she is, but she also runs off by herself a lot. And since we have Chris is going to be out, but we do have Thomas back, and we're introducing his new character. I didn't want to take up new time with any time with Malin bullshit. So we're here, and this is taking place during the long rest, right when they all get to New Azor hashtag Yosted stands. Hi.
Listen, okay, guys, I don't know why everyone's such Yo's head stands. It's a cold, fucking depressing city. They're just bringing some life and some color to the place.
Yeah, totally. No, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Lucian is practically here. I can hear him saying it. So, yeah, rogues. Facts. Uh, so I don't really know how to start this off because I'm not the DM. Um,
I'll take
so,
over whenever you want.
please do it.
Okay, so where we left off on Sunday morning, the Pucks of Doom, smaller, more capsule sized party, turn to the New Azure Palace, courtesy of a lovely conjured portal from Lucian's new bride, Alenora. Once through the portal, they said hello to their friend Eclipsa, briefly saw a new face, a red, dapper tiefling, a suave, sassy energy about him, but he, along with Lucian, were quickly swept out of the room by Alenora to tend to some very pressing business. As you know, newlyweds royals do. Lucian's probably just getting his ear chewed off because he disappeared on his wedding night. No big deal. Um,
Fuck you, Wombat. You
Alice,
should be asleep.
Alice goes off and does whatever Callus does. Perhaps he stays somewhere in the castle, also a newlywed. Perhaps he goes and, for old time's sake, restores his OG cozy crap shack on the outskirts of town. Clipsa goes off to her chambers, and Haragash finds himself tinkering through the night. Mei-Lin, however, being the restless mind that she is, has a to-do list, and time never stops for a woman trying to start an empire. Lynn, your room is quaint, double bed, canopy, dark wood fixtures, nightstand with a candle, you know, very regal but simple setting all at the same time. What are you doing? What are you up to?
Well, she has a book to read. So she
Yes, a
very
very
quickly
large book.
reads through as much as she can, taking notes, skimming, kind of staying up a bit to do that. My phone is going off the hook, so I'm just turning it off. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, Malin's reading a very large, important book. Is reading the Tome of Gods. It's a gold, very shiny book, very large. And for those who weren't there when this book was found, it essentially is divided up into three sections: gods of good, gods of evil, and then there are the discarded gods in the back corner. Got a couple of names in it and a freshly added new name. And Mei-Lin, what names are you looking at particularly? Anything standing out, grabbing your fancy?
Corellian, just double checking up on that one. Um, and reading back through Vecna's, just kind of like referencing if other people are being referenced, like going back and forth and just making notes of who's involved with who and how. And I think she spends a little bit of time
Sober.
on the Raven Queen.
Your earlier pages and the first few pages, especially between the gods of good, there's not a lot of crossover. Very few names intersect. You would note that the two deities stick out. One in the discarded gods and one in the gods of good have crossover. That would be the sisters Shar and Seiloon. Both share a little bit of information, mostly about their lives as upcoming deities or perhaps their mortal life. And then a little bit about how they both have a domain of the two moons that kind of, each of them has a moon that kind of watches over them, or they watch over, depending who you talk to. Aurelian, same old information that was there when you were down in the tome. Vecna's pages, very, very, very heavy in information. Nothing too juicy, more just about, like, how they ascended, their goals are, usual god information, nothing super from their point of view. You go to the Raven Queen's pages. These ones only ever refer to her as either the Raven Queen or the Matron of Ravens. There's no mention of like a mortal name. There's no mention of any other titles. It's got very fact-driven information. This is everything else seems to maybe have like a little bit of bias to it, where it uses much more positive words or like more dark and slanderous words. Very matter of fact. Center of the Raven Queen's conversation.
Does it mention how she ascended?
It only very briefly mentions that she was mortal, self-ascended. It does not go into a lot of detail, and it definitely does not mention any information of her life as a mortal.
Interesting.
Similar
Okay.
in the way that the latter pages of the Storm Spear mention his ascension was self-ascended, hers as well. Just the Storm Spear has pre-ascension life information in place, whereas the Raven Queen does not.
Okay. Um, she is going to sit down on her bed, hold the book open to the Raven Queen's page, and close her eyes and reach out the same way that she'd reach out with a mind link,
Okay.
because she really doesn't know what she's doing. Just she's seen people who are in prayer close their eyes before, and she thinks it's what you're supposed to do. So she very uncomfortably just kind of sits with this book open in her lap and closes her eyes and reaches out in her mind for this picture of the Raven Queen statue, but what she thinks it would look like if it were a person. If that makes
Why
sense.
don't you describe that to me? Describe to me what Mei-Lin thinks the Raven Queen looks like.
So Mei-Lin thinks the Raven Queen is about 30 feet tall.
Yeah, that's kind of on track.
On brand.
On brand. Nail
Yeah.
on the head.
She sees her with that white porcelain mask that was on the statue, and she sees her dressed very similarly to herself in that she's primarily in black but pale. She sees her as like this visage of death, the harbinger of death. So she sees like that pale, pallid skin, but dark features, dark eyes, dark hair, and just this mantle, huge mantle of blue, almost black raven feathers on her shoulders. And she is silent and still and great posture, very statuesque looking, because all that she's seen is this statue.
Right. Do you have a set of
I
D100s?
do.
Nikki?
I do.
For those just joining us, perhaps if you're finding our stream for the first time or have no fucking idea how we do things here, everybody can essentially channel divinity, but they just have a much stronger, smaller threshold on what they can roll. And Mei-Lin, our little rogue fighter here, is going to attempt it for the first time.
63.
Okay. Reaching out beyond your soul, beyond the physical space, past that small urethral divide, break into the divine gate. Past that little bit of information you do have on what it perhaps looks like, how it was formed. What does Mei-Lin say when she's reaching out, if anything?
If she feels like she's getting through and somebody's listening, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I could use some assistance. The matron of ravens?
A chill almost overcomes your body, like someone is watching you. Goosebumps kind of envelop your skin. Soft breeze cracks through the window, rattling against the shutters. Everything goes dark for a minute. And this soft, maternal, yet somehow disingenuous voice kind of just falls in with the wind. Who is asking?
No one. No one important. My name is Mei-Lin.
Mei-Lin. Simple, clean, balanced. What can I do for you?
Can I see this person?
You look around out of curiosity, just more so if there's like a body to the voice. But at the moment, there is no physical individual, there's no visage, there's nothing. No imagery, just this disembodied voice.
You'll have to forgive me. We've been in a situation very recently where a god's pretending to be another god and pulling the wool over our eyes, and I just need to know who I'm speaking with. Please.
Pause takes form and it sits for quite a few moments before it resumes. Call out, reading my book. You don't quite know who you're reaching to, just accepting anybody in. Business, if I do say so myself. But alas, I am matron of ravens, the guard of death, if you will. What have you called me here for?
I need to see.
One more time, I could not hear you.
I need to see.
Very well. And perched on the windowsill, as you kind of turn around, looking for some kind of sign, is a very large, healthy-looking raven. Its eyes, however, not the beady black you're used to, are this white color. And its beak goes from a black to a white, almost porcelain appearance, as if was signaling to you that this is her. It's mimicking the mask on her own face.
Thank you. I'm going to struggle, and I hope that you won't take it as disrespect. I'm not particularly pious, but I could use some counsel. I read the book. I read about you.
All of it.
Most of it.
Hungry for knowledge.
Yes. Hungry for knowledge, but finding none for what I need.
What is it you need? You said you wanted counsel.
Yeah. I found, quite accidentally, that I've been keeping your tenets myself. Not for any god or for any person or for any path, but because it's the right thing to do. Balance, order. It's what I live to maintain. It's what I intended to live to maintain. I've hit a little bit of a snag. Sorry, this is a lot. This is a lot.
Take your time, child. I have plenty of it to spare.
See, that's just what I wanted to talk to you about. Is time. You see, one of yours stole a life from one of mine. One that I care very much about. And I've made a promise to this person very recently, and it's one that I very much intend to keep. So knowing this, I have to ask you, as the keeper of balance, at what point is balance something more than simply the difference between life and death? That's my question.
There is balance in everything we do. Sometimes you just cannot see it. Your actions influence those of others, balancing out choice. What balance are you questioning?
If you asked me yesterday if I died, if I wanted to come back, I would have said no. That would be wrong.
That is something I firmly believe in myself. Those who rest have done their time.
But if I should fall before I have finished my promise, you were mortal once. Do you remember it?
Reluctantly.
Did you love anyone?
Love is complicated. Have admiration for one? Yes. Did I say love was what it really was? No, it was more of an infatuation. But I digress. I am envious of those who do feel love. Was envious of those who do feel love.
Time heals all wounds, they say. The point that I'm making is this person, this infatuation. What would you have done to keep a promise you made to them?
I would go to the ends of the wilds for them. On the Avoso, across the waters. Anything.
Defy death.
Could say I've done that.
Good. What makes you different than me? That's my question.
Success. I did it. Are you willing to do everything it takes for anyone?
Not for anyone.
For him?
Yes.
Tell me, Mei-Lin Fang, what are your goals?
To live well. To live with purpose. To do what's right as much as I can. To prove that there's good worth saving.
And what is your purpose right now?
Right now, it's be there for him. It's fulfill the promise that I have made.
To see him healed? To ensure he is never alone?
The latter.
How seriously do you intend to keep this promise?
I would do anything.
Anything is a bold word. You stand by it.
That's why I was looking for counsel, not because I intended to keep it, but because I wanted to hear that I'm not crazy.
Love makes people do crazy things. I for love. Even after my ascension, I had someone love me so much. Made stupid choices on my behalf. And now, is at my beck and call.
Are you suggesting that my goals are stupid?
I'm suggesting that putting someone above yourself is reckless. I cannot stop your choices. Do I condone them necessarily? No. I think there is a balance. Putting someone above yourself. It's weight on one side of the scale from the other. However, if that is what you must do,
If we're talking about balance, I am almost positive. Almost. I can ask. That he would do the same for me. So if you're talking about balance and putting another above yourself, is it not better to put one above yourself to lift them up as lift you up with them?
if a crow could smile, this raven would have a grin. It flies off. It perches on a chair across the room. As it makes contact with the chair, taking form is this big, black, cloaked figure. Can't see much of a body. It's very heavy. The cloak covers any shapely form. White, featureless porcelain mask. There's a little bit of chill to the space now. The proximity between you two is not warm air from the candles or the fireplace. It is cold, like a lifeless body. Not being 30 feet tall, rather being no more than 6 foot, sat very still in a chair in the corner of the room. I will be watching your every move.
For what?
Ensure you keep the balance, and you walk the line as you have sworn. promise to walk the balance. I will help you fulfill your purpose.
What do you think my purpose is?
Keeping balance is your purpose.
The balance that I seek is that Callus gets his justice.
I am not one to judge what you think balances your scale. When his time comes, we'll open him with welcome arms. He, as long as shall live, will never be alone. I will ensure you stay by his side. But in return, once his time comes, you continue living. And continue living. And never rest. Continue to bring balance.
As what?
That is to be determined.
I suggest you figure that out then.
I am not the one who has to figure anything out. I have succeeded in my goals. Or the one who wants to do anything for balance. I'm simply aiding in how I know.
Eternal unrest is not balance, it's punishment. And the fact that you are willing to live it is your prerogative. That would not be my choice, and that would not be balance. That would be entirely the opposite of balance. How is that balanced?
All good deeds come at a cost. We're doing something good by fulfilling a promise. What cost are you willing to pay?
Anything?
Anything. Will turn to you. 48 hours to obtain an answer on if anything truly means anything. I will ensure that he is never alone for the rest of his days. As long as you commit to anything. And there's a nod with anything, implying the previous conversation, implying that eternal unrest is what she wants in return.
How? Who would be with him? Me.
You?
And when I don't die and I don't cross over with him, who would be with him?
Everyone who came before you.
God.
I owe you 2 sips on Sunday, one from Chris and one from you. I was not prepared to have vengeful water drinkers in our chat today, so look at water, yay!
Thank you for the time to consider. I have a lot to think about.
Do, child. My word is my word.
I have heard the words of gods before.
gods or imposters?
I don't know.
Me, my word is everything. I have kept promise to my children before, and will continue to keep promise to my children till I am banished. Think on it, Mei-Lin Fang. The body crumples into this hot, burning energy before simply diminishing entirely. Left on the chair before you is a single black raven's feather.
And May did not approach when she was there, but is the raven gone too? Or is the raven still
Raven
there?
is gone also.
Okay. So in that case, May will approach and go up and pick up the raven's feather and kind of turn it over in her hands. Is her arm still broken in this? Or is she in a completely different place?
Her arm is still broken.
She looks up. Can you take the book off of me? Can you just return it for me? I'm not really good at swimming. Can you just take this book?
The wind comes through the door, almost comedically slams the window shutter shut.
It was worth a shot. And she, in the bedroom, slams the book shut.
As May prepares to take a long rest, is there anything else you would like to do?
I'm going to go talk to Harry.
Wandering out of the room, going to find
Yeah.
your nipple-clad friend.
Go to find my buddy. Yeah.
To find your nipple-clad buddy. This is where we end our vignette into May's dress.
Oh, God. Why is she so cruel? I thought she
Fair.
was
It's not cruel.
neutral.
He is neutral. Very eye for an eye.
Yeah, I guess. But
Okay.
it's like an eye for an eye if the eye also comes with the rest of the body. Like, yeah, it was an eye for an eye, but like now there's more.
Or eyes are attached to something.
Yeah. I didn't know I had to sacrifice my whole fucking head. All right, cool. Well, that's it. Okay, so that's it for today, folks. I hope that you could hear things and see things. Because I don't know what the fuck else we're going to do. So I'm really hoping that this worked, and we love you all. And are you going to say it, Tay, or no?
You can say it.
I'm fucking not saying it.
I will cast you later.
God, I hate that so
I love it so